I didn't confront her. I didn't wake her. I just put the phone back where I found it.
There was no argument that night, no shouting, no dramatic confrontation. Just a quiet moment where everything finally made sense. I was standing in the hallway, holding my phone, staring at a message that definitely wasn't meant for me. In that instant, I realized that whatever I thought my marriage was, whatever fragile thing we had been protecting, it had ended long before that second. She was asleep when I placed the phone back exactly where I found it. Her breathing was steady, peaceful, like someone with nothing left to hide. I watched her for a moment, and it was strange. I didn't feel anger or even the crushing weight of sadness, just a quiet, strange detachment. You know, love doesn't always explode when it dies. Sometimes it just fades so completely that you only notice its absence when the silence becomes comfortable. I didn't wake her. There was truly nothing left to say. I went downstairs and sat at the kitchen table. The very table where we had once planned a future that now felt like it belonged to strangers. The house was quiet in a way it had never been before. I made myself a cup of coffee, drank it slowly, and just let the truth settle without resistance. I realized she hadn't made a mistake. She had made a choice. And I finally understood that my response was also a choice. I didn't want explanations. I didn't want apologies. I definitely didn't want to fight for something that required betrayal just to sustain it. By dawn, I had packed a single bag. Not because I had nothing else, but because I did want to carry the weight of a life that no longer belonged to me. I walked through each room one last time, not to mourn, but to release it. The furniture, the photos, the routines, all of it had served its purpose. None of it needed to follow me. On the kitchen counter, I left the house keys and a short note, no accusations, no blame, just a few calm sentences explaining that I was gone and that everything in the house was hers. The property, the savings, the furniture, I wanted none of it. I wasn't running away. I was choosing peace. When the sun finally rose, I drove without a destination. The road instantly felt lighter than the life I'd just left behind. Somewhere between those mile markers and empty gas stations, I realized I wasn't grieving. I was completely relieved. Relief can feel like guilt when you've been trained to endure instead of escape. I stayed with a friend for a while. He was great. He didn't ask questions. He didn't offer any advice. He understood that some endings don't need witnesses. During those first few weeks, messages flooded in, confusion, anger, tears, promises. I didn't respond. Silence wasn't punishment. It was closure for me. She wanted to talk, to explain, to justify, to rewrite the entire story into something softer, something maybe forgivable. But explanations don't heal betrayal. They only comfort the person who is offering them. I had already accepted the truth without her help. Months passed. Fewer rooms, fewer expectations, fewer lies. I slept better than I had in years. Through mutual friends, I learned she was struggling. Not financially, I had left her more than enough, but emotionally. The freedom she thought she wanted felt heavier than the marriage she abandoned. The man she chose over me didn't stay. They rarely do when secrecy is the foundation of the relationship. She reached out again, this time without anger. She said she missed me. She said she didn't understand how I could leave so quietly, how I could give up everything without a fight. And that was the part she never understood. Walking away wasn't weakness. It was a kind of strength she never expected from me. I didn't leave because I had nothing left. I left because I finally valued myself enough to stop negotiating my own dignity. A year later, I was standing in a different kitchen, sunlight cutting across unfamiliar walls, and I realized something so important. Love isn't proven by endurance alone. It's proven by mutual respect. When respect dies, I never took the house back. I never asked for compensation. I never tried to correct anyone's version of the story. People can believe whatever helps them sleep at night. Sometimes, late at night, I think about how quietly it all ended. No screaming, no dramatic courtroom battle. Just a man choosing not to betray himself anymore.